Hey everyone, welcome back. So today we will see how to create two e-cards for Christmas. So here I'm using Canva. So as you all know, Canva is a platform which allows you to prepare or make a lot of presentation videos or social media content, and the UI is really very easy to use. So there are a lot of templates that you can follow, a lot of elements that you can add, audio, video, all of it, and you can even download and get them printed. Isn't that great? So for today we will be seeing two cards. One is the simple one, we will be starting right from the scratch, and the second is using the template where you can put in your picture in the e-card or the digital, or you call the digital card. So let's get started here. So if you are a new user to Canva, you can log in to Canva. It provides you 30-day free trial in case you're a new user. So once you log in, you will be seeing a create a design button on the top right corner here. You click on the button and you enter card, since we are gonna create a card, and I'm gonna select the card type landscape. So once you create that, you will be getting a start page where you can add all your elements and get started. Add page button allows you to add more than one cards on a sheet, right? So now, since I've already done this here, I would want to show you right away in how to add all these components and get these started. Okay, so here I have this blank sheet. Okay, so I will get started by adding the elements. So all these are the small elements that you see, either the background or these extra decor items. They are all part of the elements section that you see on the left side bar. Okay, I've selected the background to be something of this sort, so I'm gonna go ahead and select this video. If you see, you're able to add even the video content onto the card, right? This can be any custom card that you have, custom video that you've already have on your drive, or you can pick anything from the site. Okay, so I've got it added. Now let me add the content. So I'll go ahead and enter text. I say add a heading and type Merry Christmas. Okay, so here you see that I have selected Beth Ellen text font type. Okay, so before that you need to style it. So for styling, it provides various options that you can choose the color or the content color that applies on each of the card. So here I have taken this second one. Okay, I'm gonna select this and the style to be Beth Ellen. Let me resize this content and position it as it is seen above. So it is 45. I'll make this 45 as well. Okay, you can position it as you see. Make this M and this C. You can resize it, and I'm gonna position it right over here. Okay, since I want them to be placed in separate lines, I'm gonna add separate component and then add the text here. So I'm gonna say from my family. This text is different. It is from the apricots font type and 26. So I first gonna place it over here. I'm gonna select the apricots, the family, and it is 26. Okay, you can resize, place it where you want. These alignments are the guidelines that actually help you to place the content accordingly. So either the left aligned or center, it gives you this plus mark where you can place the content right at the center. Okay, now the third one, I'm gonna add the 2. So I'm gonna add the subheading again, type 2, place it over here. I'm gonna check the font. Font is Angelina 40.6. I'm selecting the component which I want to modify the font. I'm gonna select Angelina and it is 42. Okay, resize if you need it. And finally I'm gonna add the last bit, which is yours. So again, add a heading, URS, place the content here, and I see the text is apricots 92.5, apricots 92.5. So I'm selecting the text which has to be modified, apricots, and this is 92.5, right? And I'm gonna adjust this accordingly. So you can change the font like you want, but I have used these just to show you as the demo. So now I need to pick up these small decor items. So I'll go back to the elements. You can look for or search anything that you are interested in. So you can basically type what you want. You can type snow, you can type, so basically you can type what you need. So you can say snow and you get all the elements with related to snow. So here, since I've already used these elements from the same tab, I'm gonna quickly drop the same and show you how to use it. Okay, so now I have selected this ball and I'm gonna move it on the top so that they just look like they're hanging from the top. Okay, so you just have to move a little content here and there so that you can adjust it accordingly. Okay, so now there's something that you see here hanging. So this is a good option that it provides. So if you select the item and you right click on the item and you say send backward or send to back, so basically the Merry Christmas can be moved and hidden at the back of the ball. Do you see that? Okay, and I don't want, I'm gonna keep it as it is. If you want the ball to be coming in the front, I can bring it this way. Since it hides the font right now or hides the actual message, I'm gonna push it back. Okay, fine. So since it is too bright, there's another option that Canva provides where you can reduce the opacity of the element. So this can be done for anything that you put on the slide. So be it either the text or the background or the elements that you add, you can manage the transparency of the image. So I'm gonna keep it like so. Okay, that is fine. I'm gonna push it a little up. I want another one to be hanging right at the right side corner. So for that, I am again gonna select the element that I want to repeat, and here there is a duplicate option. So you can either say Control C, Control V, or you can just click on this duplicate so that it creates the same image for you. So I'm gonna put this slightly on top. Okay, I don't want it to be symmetric, so I'm just keeping it haphazard, and I have it hanging there. Right, so again I can manage transparency. I'll make it a little lighter. Now let me go and pick this cute little one and push him right at the center of Merry Christmas. So I'm gonna do the same thing with the transparency, because I don't want all the background elements to be more highlighted. But again, it depends on what you want, but I'm gonna have it this way. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it there. And the final one, the Christmas tree. So I'm gonna get the Christmas tree here and place it at the center and reduce the opacity of the tree. Okay, so once that's added, the only thing that's pending will be to add the audio. So you can add any audio to the card. So I'll show you that in a bit, but before that, there's another thing that I would want to show you. So here you can select the text and you can animate the text. You can add effects to the text. So I'm gonna select yours text here. Okay, and I'm gonna click on the animate button. You just hover on the options that you see and you will actually get to know how will it look on the card. So you can basically hover and select something that you would like. So I'm gonna select yours and select the typewriter effect. You can do this for each of the element that you see on the card. So for Merry Christmas, I'm gonna select something like so, Merry Christmas Rise. Okay, yes, you can do that for elements as well, but I don't want to add it for the elements. I have added it for the text. Got it? Okay, so coming back to the audio, so there is something called audio option that's provided here. Okay, so you can select the card, go to the audio option and select the, yeah, do you see that playing? Yeah, so you can basically add the music as well to the card. Isn't that great? Okay, let me pause this for a while. And yes, our first card is almost done. So if you just want to see how it looks like, it's nice. Okay, so I see a little adjustment needed here. So I'm gonna cover the background completely so that the actual yellow part is not seen of the card. I'm gonna play it back just to see if it is all looks good. Yeah, it looks good. Okay, so then we are done with the first card. So isn't that simple? So you can just drop in elements. You can use the animated ones, the 2D ones. You can add text, change the font and a lot more, and you can even download and get them printed, right? Okay, so moving on to the second card. So this is something that I like because it is customized so that you can add your family picture or your picture and send invites across. Okay, so going back on how to go about this one, so I'm gonna create a new page. So again, let me delete and show you how. So I'm gonna click on this add page and it will give you a separate blank sheet, right? Okay, so first of all, for the background, so here we selected the snowfall background. So here I'm gonna use that is already provided by them. Okay, so there's something called template options where you see a lot of templates where you just need to edit the text and directly download and send it across. But if you want to customize it, then let's see how to do that. Okay, so for this I have actually used this template that you see right here. Okay, I'm gonna remove the elements that I do not need. So the template is not a static template. You can actually remove the ones that you do not want. So I'm going to remove these small elements from the actual template. Okay, and here I want to add my picture. So on the picture you just need to double click and this is the picture that you see. Okay, I'm gonna delete this, so I'll just repeat it again. You just need to click on the picture and double click so that the actual image pops out. You just delete it and you need to put your picture inside this placeholder. So if you go to the uploads section, you can actually upload your media files from your system. So I have my picture here, so I'm gonna place this here. Do you see? It's so simple. Let me do that again. So I have a picture, I just clicked on it, it comes on the sheet. I press and place it inside the placeholder. You double click it again to resize and move the picture within the placeholder, right? And release the mouse button. You can move it and place it. Okay, so that's this simple, isn't it? Okay, now for the cap, again I'm getting back to the elements. I've taken this cap, I'm gonna place it right here. I'm gonna resize this placeholder so that the cap fits in right. Okay, this is fine. Now I want to add these small elements that you see here. So I'm going back to this small tree right here. Okay, let me show you another thing that I missed. I need to add another background back right here. Okay, so let me move this back to the center. I'm going back to the templates elements section. Okay, I'm gonna pick this image. I want this present and this bokeh effect image. So I'm gonna click that here. I'm gonna place that image over mine. Okay, I'm just gonna first say right click and send it to backward and then resize it, place it, cover the background completely, and then transparency I'm gonna reduce a little because I need the red color of the actual background as well with the bokeh effect. So I'm gonna make it somewhat like so, right? And then I'm gonna move and I'm gonna move this right over here. Okay, and then add the cap back. And now I'm gonna add these small elements that I mentioned. So you will again find them under the element section. So they are small designs that I just wanted to randomly add so that it occupies and it doesn't look all plain. So the actual color that you see right here is red, but since white goes well on red, I'm gonna make it white. So yes, isn't it bright now? So I'm gonna do the same thing to duplicate the image. I clicked on this plus and duplicated. You can either use Ctrl C, Ctrl V like I said earlier, and place it like you want. So I'm gonna just randomly place it here. And now let's add this text. Okay, so I'm going back to the text and say style. No, I'll go back to the text and say heading and say Merry Christmas. Okay, and you see the font here is Ravel Home Inline 37.9. I'm gonna do the same thing here. Select the text, Raven Home 37.9, and I'm gonna make this white again. Okay, and I'm gonna click on enter. Yes. So now do you see the difference that's there between this and this? So I do not need this much space between Merry and Christmas. So you just select the text, and do you see something called spacing right beside the FX? So I'm going to click on the spacing and I'm going to reduce the line spacing. You can increase or decrease. I'm going to decrease it and increase the letter spacing a little. Perfect. Okay, then finally I'm going to add to you and family. So I'm going back, say add a subheading and say to you and your family. So if I'm gonna place this here, I can either resize it, but I want this entire line to come in 3 separate lines. So I'm gonna separate them by clicking on enter. So I clicked on the enter button and got the single line come in 3 separate lines. Now I'm gonna select the same font, which is Ravel Home Inline. You can either say Control All, so that Control A, or you can cursor select all of them and select the font which is Ravel Home Inline. Okay, yes, 33.1. So I'm gonna make this as well 33.1. Reduce the size a little. And increase the line spacing a little. Okay, yes, and we are done with the second card as well. Let us quickly add the song. So I'm going back to the audio, select the slide, add the audio. Okay, so we are left with the FX. So I'm gonna go back to the FX section. So I'm gonna select the items that I want to animate it. So there are a lot of options that you see right here. So I'm gonna select one of them, and to you and family I would say roll. You can apply this to the entire slide as well. So I'm gonna just say rise. Okay, and another thing that I would want to show you is okay, so I have clicked it out. So you see there are 4 separate sheets that are right here. Okay, So by default, each of the slide plays for 5 seconds. So if I'm just clicking it out, you see the entire slide, that is the last fourth slide, plays for about 5 seconds. If I scroll up a little, the previous one, the page 3, plays for 3.5 seconds because I have modified it. Okay, and I don't suppose you are going to create more than one card in a single download. You might not want to have a long video, so you can go ahead and decrease it. So you just have to click on the outside of the entire sheet and you see this 5 seconds. Just edit the time and I'm gonna make it 3. Okay, you see the entire 45.5 seconds it has modified. So I'm gonna change this to 3.5 seconds. This is 3.5 and this is 3 seconds. Okay, so yes, we are done. So this was something simple that I would want to show you. This was from the scratch where we just dropped in the elements and created the card, and this is something that I like where you can customize it and send it across. Hope you liked it, guys. So I make videos on how to make cards, brush lettering, doodling, editing videos, and much more. So if you like to see something related to this on my channel, please do subscribe. Would be a lot more happy. Thank you. Yes, so let's continue. Okay, now let us play this entire sheet and see how it looks. That was great, isn't it? Yes, so I would like to see what you guys do as well. Thank you for joining in here.